Okay, so we're going to start lying on our backs, like in a proper restorative class. If you want to, you can even slide a cushion or a bolster underneath your knees. And again, even if there is no tension or any pain in the lower back, it's sometimes good to adopt this position because it takes and alleviates any pressure from the lower back, and it naturally helps to release the psoas, so the hip flexors. So take some time making sure that you're really comfortable in restorative kind of practices. It's all about seeking that comfort. Perhaps not continuously, but just giving yourself enough time to wiggle, explore, just to find, you know, that extra 5 or 10% of comfort. So then once you've reached the position where you're happy and you want to stay, allow yourself a deep breath in. And as you exhale, softly close your eyes, beginning to redirect your attention away from the external world and into the inner world. Sense your physical body. So we don't often begin the practice lying down. So how does this change make you feel? Simply feel and observe how your body is responding. If there are any thought patterns or narratives, and take a moment to check in with yourself. Have you had a good week? Has it been productive? Has it been a bit off? Have you been all over the place? Just simply check in and give yourself that time to experience all that there is. The good, the bad, and the ugly. So, quite often, there is a prevalent trend to pathologize any kind of emotionality or like oversensitivity, but it's all there for us to experience and then manage. Not control, but manage. But in order to do that, you first need to acknowledge what's going on. If you're angry, if you're scared, if you're bored, etc. And begin to deepen the breath. What qualities do you note about your breath right now? Is your breath deep and slow, or is it quite rapid, perhaps jagged? Can you feel your body pulsating, or are you quite content just lying on the floor? What are the contact points with the floor, with your mat? How does the stillness and slowing down make you feel? So, depending what you're used to, like every day, what kind of yoga practice you're used to, then if you deviate from that, then instead of it feeling good, it can make you feel a bit agitated. So if we tend to do perhaps a bit stronger practice or if more physical intent, how does it feel to come to a halt? Embrace stillness and take no action. Just take a moment and observe all and any sensations in your body, any emotional feedback. So there can be some tingling or this readiness to move in your muscles or just in the body. In terms of your emotions, if you come to an abrupt stop, a halt, and you're usually a very active person, you're a go-getter, got a list of tasks to do, then all of a sudden, if you pause, it just seems like you should be doing something. You may or may not relate to that. It might be something else that you're experiencing, or your mind might be nagging you to be more productive. So now consciously deepen the inhalations, feeling what's happening in the body, and slow down the exhalation. So if counting helps, you can breathe in for a count of 4, and then exhale for a count of 6 or even 8. At the same time, sense what your body needs to do to be able to slow the breath down. What's happening on the physiological level and your mind's attitude. Allow the body to remain still and give yourself permission to relax. So at the same time, if there's an urge to move, see if you can resist it and remain still instead. Just focus on the ebbs and flows, so the rises and falls of your belly and your chest as you continue to breathe. And see if you can maintain the ratio of double breath. And even if you're not counting, see if you can just prolong the exhalation, because that's the key in tapping into the rest and digest response of our nervous system. So that's what helps us to relax, let go, and restore a sense of equilibrium and balance. At the same time, in particular, as you exhale, see if you can send a wave of relaxation through the body. So sending it all the way from the top of the head to the soles of your feet, relaxing any muscular engagement so your forehead can remain soft, your temples, your jaw. So just you and your breath. Now is the practice of double breath. Take 3 more rounds. Feeling the grounding energy of the exhalation. And then you can slowly begin to reawaken the body. So roll your ankles and your wrists, moving slowly. Then switch direction. And then gently bend your legs and place your feet on the bolster. And stay here for a moment. Bring your awareness to your pelvis. If you can gently tilt it back and then forward, just see how much movement there is available and whether any movement is appropriate. Because sometimes, so if, especially when it comes to like lower back, or if there's any kind of pain, then or tension, then it doesn't mean that it needs to be stretched out. Sometimes it's best to leave it alone. But in order to do that, you need to connect with your body and actually, check what's going on. So then draw your right knee towards your chest, give it a squeeze. You can stay here for a moment. Bring the knee out and towards the center. Just noticing how much movement you've got available in the hip. And then move into half happy baby. So stacking the right ankle over the knee. See where you can grab the foot. So for slower practices, and we want to find use less engagement. So if you can, for instance, grab hold of the outer part of the leg, which is kind of traditionally done, but then you feel like there's a lot of engagement in the shoulder, then it might be better to alter and switch to holding of the big toe. So stay there and breathe. Try to relax the groin, the inner thigh, keeping the weight evenly distributed across your hips. And then gently release. So switch sides. This time left knee comes towards your chest. And bring it in and out a few times. And moving delicately. The way we move on the mat is ideally how we want to move off the mat and how we want to treat ourselves, others, and also show them how we want to be treated. And then lift your left foot up and see where you want to go on this side. So honoring any current limitations, like obstacles, and allowing the body to tell you where to go. So relax your hips, relax your shoulders, and stay connected with your breath. And then one more breath. Let go of the left foot. And you can kick the both of the cushion out, but keep it handy because we'll be needing it shortly. And draw your right knee towards your chest, extend the left leg, but this time activate through both legs so you can feel an energetic opening through the hips. So you can even draw the navel in slightly, and then hold the knee with the left hand and guide the leg across for a spinal twist. If your lower back feels tender, you can use the bolster to let the knee rest on the prop. Again, if you want to extend the right arm out, gaze towards the right hand, or tone it down. It's your practice. And see how much you can let go. So let go of control, trying to get somewhere in terms of deepening the posture, and instead relax. Feel the weight of your legs, your arm if you choose to extend it. There is no right or wrong, especially in this kind of practice. The only thing is your comfort. So you want to feel as good and as comfortable as opposed to coming to the edge of your comfort zone, which is what we would potentially say that this is our objective in other practices. But in restorative yoga, we want to just be and breathe. So just stay on the sides for another 5 breaths. Notice where you can feel most sensations. And then gently, mindfully roll to the sides and back to the center. Pause here for a moment. And then I'm going to go to the other side. So you can move the cushion first. And then left knee towards your chest, right leg out. And notice how it feels as you activate the posture slightly. And then roll the other way. Maybe you've got more space available on this side, maybe not. So it's okay to compare, but if we leave any judgment out of this, so acknowledge there is more space, there is less space. We'll try to move away from this is my better side, this is my weaker side, etc. Notice what's present. Gravity is on our side, so let it do some work as you relax. Allow the body to grow heavy with every exhalation. Five more cycles of breath. Then prepare to move, and then gently roll onto your back. Keep both legs bent for a moment. Pause here. And now grab your bolster or your cushion and slide it underneath your lower back and draw your knees towards your chest. So make sure that you're comfortable. Just hold it here for a moment with your legs bent. See if you can feel your pelvis, your hips, and then lift both of your legs up from modified Viparita Karani. We will end the practice with an extended version of that. So this is modified, you can still feel some engagement in the legs. Notice how it makes you feel. And then bring both knees towards your armpits so you can bring the arms through from in between the legs for happy baby, but with that pelvis lifted and supported by the bolster. So this might be easier in this position. So see if you can just focus on rolling the thighs out, so bringing the knees out to the side. So finding a slightly more passive way of externally rotating the heads of the femurs. At the same time, see if you can enjoy this posture. So when we come into certain postures in our yoga asana, we want to take on the qualities that the postures convey, whether they are for like warriors, some deities, and this is a happy baby. So see if you can just feel carefree, light-hearted, and just blissful. And then relax your legs one more time, bring them up so they're together, and then open them out to the sides. So for a wide V shape. Go as far as it's comfortable. So you might need to bring the legs back up a little bit. You can use your hands to support your legs or just allow them to be. So gently activate through the feet and your legs. So you will potentially feel a stretch all the way from the groins up to your ankles. Extend your arms out or keep them on your body if you need more grounding. And breathe. So acknowledge if a challenge begins to creep in, see if you can just stay with it. And then gently bend both legs, draw your knees towards your chest, and you can ever so slightly roll from side to side if it feels appropriate, or just stay still, depending on what your lower back says. Maybe roll circles with your knees. Again, just take a moment to do what you would like to do, bringing some mindful movement or staying still for 2 or 3 breaths. Because as we've got the hips elevated and the legs slightly up, we're still reaping some of the benefits of being inverted. And then one more time. So lift your legs up, and this time drop your left leg down, keep the right leg up. That's it. So keep the legs in a somewhat comfortable position because now we're going to draw circles outwards. So right leg goes out, left out, and then they switch positions. Yeah. And then so the left leg goes clockwise, right one, no. Yeah, they're both. I don't know. So it's just like you draw a big circle with your legs in and out. Yeah. So now they both go clockwise, moving slowly, full range of motion, and then they go anti-clockwise. So it's all about moving smoothly and mindfully here. And as long as you keep your legs straight. So you don't have to synchronize the movement with the breath, but you keep breathing. You're present to the sensations of your breath, and any clicking and popping is quite all right. Twice more. One more circle. Bring both legs up and then gently bend them. Place them down. Lift your hips to remove the bolster and bring your hips all the way down. Extend legs and arms out. Full body stretch. And then gently roll over to one side. Keep your legs bent and place the right hand on top of left. So your head can dangle. You can bring a cushion here if you like. And then as you inhale, it's like you've painted a rainbow with your hands. So it goes all the way up and down. And then you can stay here. So now we're mobilizing the mid back, the thoracic spine. You want to stay heavy through the legs. So if you need to modify, you need to bring the right leg a bit forward instead of keeping them together, then do that. Or just allow your right arm to dangle. So now we're working on the flexibility. Notice here where you can feel a stretch, or if you can feel a stretch. And the next breath in, gently bring the leg all the way back. And now we do dynamically. So inhale, reach and extend. And then exhale, come back. 3 more times. Breathe in and out. 2, 1. Pause here. And then roll over to the other side. Get comfortable here. Notice how it feels to lie on this side. Maybe that's how you sleep on. Maybe it feels a bit off. Just take a moment to note. And then inhale, lift the left arm over and then allow it to dangle. Breathe into your chest. Feel the weight of your shoulder in your arm. One more breath. And then as you inhale, lift the arm back up and place it to the other hand. So now moving dynamically 4 times. Breathe in and out. Inhale, exhale. 2, 1, and rest. Then slowly bring yourself up into a comfortable seated position. So we'll do Ujjayi breathing, which we'll then bring into the rest of the postures. So if you want to, you can do it lying down, but if you've got some props, it's nice to elevate the hips. So then we can do it for about 5 minutes. So make sure that your spine is long, that you engage the abdominal muscles to keep supporting the lower back and the pelvis. Relax your shoulders and close your eyes. And start using your Ujjayi breathing to make an audible sound as you both inhale and exhale. Just ensuring that you don't expend too much energy, so it doesn't have to be too loud. Just loud enough that you can hear it as you breathe in and out, so that energy is contained within you. See if you can keep both parts of the breath at equal length. Keep honing your focus. We're halfway through. If you get distracted by sounds, thoughts, sensations, it's okay. Acknowledge that this is what's happened and come back to your breath. Take 3 more breaths. And then relax and soften your posture. Keep your eyes closed and breathe naturally for a moment. Notice all and any sensations, a movement of the prana in your body, the life force energy. Notice what's going on in your mind, in your heart. And then can open your eyes, then bring your right arm underneath your back, keep the shoulder down, and drop the left ear towards the left shoulder. So keeping this right shoulder gently activated, we can open the right side of the body a bit more, and then you can close your eyes again if you want to. And now continue to use a very gentle ujjayi for the rest of the practice. So ujjayi breath can gently build some heat in the body as we contract the muscles in the throat. They are linked to the diaphragm, so therefore making that connection with the abdominal muscles or like the core muscles. So you can generate some heat in the body, but it's also grounding because you stay within your body. If you want to now, you can drop the chin down and stay there, or move in any direction that you feel drawn to, just to find any sticky spaces in the neck, all the while maintaining the connection with your victorious breath. And Ujjayi can help you remain centered and focused. So as you concentrate on making the sound and also hearing the sound of your breath, then you might be less likely to get distracted. So take a couple more breaths here. And then when you're ready with the left hand, push your head back to the center. Release your right arm and pause here for a moment, feeling the difference between the sides. And then we move to the other side. Bring the shoulder down and then bring the right ear towards the opposite shoulder. So take your time just to feel the weight of your skull without like pushing or pulling too much, but instead allowing the body to naturally open. So it's a restorative practice very much about letting go and just allowing things to evolve and when, if and when they're ready to do so. So just see on a deeper level how that makes you feel to let go of the rope instead of like molding and shaping, perhaps even forcing things into place. How does it feel to remain somewhat more passive? And then roll your chin down or bring any kind of movement that you like. Keep the connection with your breath. And then when you're ready, push the head back up to the center, release the left arm, and stay here for a moment. Okay, so now we'll move into a sloppy version of Janushirshasana, so Parita Janushirshasana. So extend your right leg out, left foot comes to the inner thigh, and then you can use your cushions to bring it out to the side, over the leg, because we still want to turn the chest away from the extended leg. So instead of like folding towards it, we want to bring the left shoulder away, and then you can bring the right elbow down, rest your head in any position that you like, extend your left arm up, and I like to just let it like dangle over my head because then if you keep the arm extended, you support this energy line, that extension, the left side of the body. But it's like a slightly sloppy version because we don't want to bring much engagement. Just like when you put the body in the shape and then just see what happens when you let go. So then just take your time, make sure that you're somewhat comfortable and find your ujjayi. Maybe close your eyes. So practicing pratyahara, so redirecting the senses inwards. And when we close our eyes, then the vision can't hijack, so our focal point of attention, but instead we can focus more on sensing, feeling, even hearing. So sense which parts in your body need some attention. Relax your lower back, your hips, your legs. Take 3 more breaths. Then gently release the left arm and then super slowly. So firm up your abdominals and then gently bring yourself up. So pause here in the center. And then let's switch to the other side. Again, there's no rush. We're trying to build a new neural pathway in the brain that's somehow convincing ourselves that there's no rush, even though everything else around us on a daily basis tells us that there is. Now we can slow down. So again, take your time, just notice how your body feels. There's no point in just moving into a posture or like going for any kind of movement if you don't know what you're working with. So take your time and then begin to move in one step at a time and maybe bring the right arm up. If you notice that this is too much, there's no point in staying there. You can drop the arm down or just let it hook it behind your head. You can take a deeper breath in and slow the exhalation down. So to initiate or kind of manifest that you have entered the posture. So now you're ready to settle and begin to deeper inner exploration. And listen to the story the side's got to tell without adding any questions. Without speculating, allowing yourself to be. Take 3 deep and conscious rounds of breath and make them count. And then release your top arm, squeeze your belly, and then gently bring yourself back up. So coming out of the posture is probably more important than coming into it because we've held it, especially for a time. We don't want to then shock the body by just quickly coming up. So now knees together apart for child's pose. You can use the bolster if you like. And then allow yourself to come down. So again, see where you want to be. Maybe move from side to side just to feel your hips. Check where you want to bring your arms. And then allow yourself to surrender. Allow the Ujjayi breath to guide you, perhaps isolating the breath to your chest and your ribs. Just remind yourself that you don't need to do anything. Just be present to the experience you're having in the postures in your body, the experience of breathing. And stay with any parts of you that feel tender, tight, or a bit off, and breathe into them. Three more breaths. And then slowly push the mat away, squeeze your belly, and even more slowly lift yourself up. Bring the legs in front of you. Or you can even face the long edge of your mat, so keeping the legs in a wide V shape. And you can use more props if you like. So first we can activate the legs and then you can relax them. So however wide the shape is, then keep it this way and then try to soften. So you can fold into the space in between. Just try to get into a place where your head isn't dangling, so then the muscles in the back can really relax, can soften your shoulders. And find your ujjayi if you've lost it. And check where else you can let go. Take 3 more breaths. and then begin to lift up. Your head comes last. Stay here in the center, keeping your spine straight, and then you can lean back and using your hands, so manually bend and bring the legs in. So it's the same principle. If you've held the posture for a time, you don't want to activate the muscles that you've just been releasing. So give yourself a hug because you're amazing. You can drop your head, stay here for a moment. Maybe roll your head from side to side. And now we'll build a little structure. We'll see how it goes for me. So if you've got a block, Sonia, that will come in handy. So this is reclining hero pose, which is actually really good to release sacrum, but you just never really know. Just trying to think if that's going to work for me. So I'm going to start with one leg at a time. So let's see how we can do this. So I prefer to keep it a bit higher, but that might be a bit too high. So trial and error, hey? Just like in life. So we're starting in this position, so like a supported bridge. But then keep both legs bent, but you want to bend one of them. It's like you bring the knee towards the floor. You can stay in a bit higher up, so like on your elbows. And it's probably the best done with a block or a smaller cushion because the bolster seems to get in my way. Or we can just do one leg at a time, I suppose. Or do it this way. Alright, yeah, that might work. Okay. So one leg is bent. As long as the knee is okay, and stay. Use your breath as a tool to remain calm. There might be sometimes even a lot of discomfort when we work with the sacrum in this way, but just see if you can breathe through it. If it gets too intense, stay on your elbows. And then if it's okay, you can bend the other leg, for which I prefer to lift up. Got both legs bent, and then I lower. But actually, my left knee says no, so I'm just going to do one leg at a time. Make the best with what you've got. Deep and slow breaths. So no fight, no force, and that applies to a physical attempt of getting in the posture or going deeper. But at the same time, with the experience you're having, if there's a lot of discomfort, if there's a lot of resistance, acknowledge it. It's okay. Don't fight it. And then gently you can either lift up or bring both feet down to begin with. And then whichever way it works for you, lift yourself up. I feel like for me it's better to go all the way down, roll to the side and come up so I don't aggravate my lower back. And now we're going to build another structure for a restorative butterfly. So if you've got two bolsters, then you can like kind of like build a cross. If you've got a bolster and a block, then place the block underneath the bolster. So just essentially, it's like a lounger. Probably seen better ones, but it's what it is. Bring the sacrum close towards your bolster, and then slowly lower, just making sure that your head is supported. That's it. And then you can bring the feet together, open your knees out to the sides. So you can either keep your feet quite close, and even better, actually. So if you lift up, make a big loop with your strap. So be able to bring the legs through it, and then we will keep the shape, but we won't need to use any kind of engagement. So I've got it like on my lower back. It will probably remain kind of like at the top of the back of my pelvis. Then you bring the feet through, so the strap is underneath, and then you can adjust how tight it is. But just beware, like when you lower, so you might have a lot of space here, but then when you lower, you will feel that it's like pulling a little bit. So again, try and error. It's just all about confusion in the learning process before something becomes your second nature. Okay, so once you feel like, oh, this is okay, you can go back, extend your arms out, or for a slightly deeper opening through your heart space, can grab the opposite elbow and extend your arms overhead. So now we're opening through the sacral area as well as the heart, even with the throat. So the whole front of the body is exposed. Relax your legs. Relax your chest. If at any point you feel you need to change the position, so whether it's bring the legs up, relax your arms, empower yourself to do that. Deep and steady breaths. Take 3 more breaths, deepening each inhalation, slightly slowing down the exhalation. And then relax your arms, preparing to move, and lift your head up, and then slowly come up. And release your feet, extend your legs. And now keep the strap. You can shake the legs out a little bit just to bring some energy. And you need to find a space by a wall, or if you've got a sofa, so you can either just rest your legs on the sofa or keep them extended against the wall. So we will do a proper Viparita Karani. So if you strap your legs, then again you can relax them instead of having to hold them. So it's quite handy to have a strap. I like to put it over my thighs, but you'll just see where it feels best for you. All right, so I think I'm going to go there. Just move anything that I can break. And if you come as close to the wall with your hips and then come down, so then when you lift your legs, you're already as close as you can be in terms of your bum being close to the door, wall, or radiator in my case. And if you strap your legs, you can just relax them. Bring the arms out. And breathe. Close your eyes. And rest your inner gaze in the spot between your eyebrows. So you can just leave it as that, or if you believe in the chakra system, so this is the center of intuition, the third eye. Or if anything, by honing your focus on that spot, then essentially you sharpen your concentration. So you can notice how keen the mind is to wander. So just see if you can remain focused on that space. Feeling the breath in your body. Relax your legs as much as you can. If you have a strap, feel the support of the ground and thus the earth. And knowing that you're safe and secure, you can relax, you can let go. Keep your ujjayi if that helps you remain focused, or breathe naturally. Remain present. Take 5 more breaths. And then slowly begin to roll to the side. Just move mindfully, making sure that it's not like a sudden movement. You can stay to the side and then release yourself from the strap and make your way back onto the mat into Shavasana. So with or without any props, if you feel you need grounding, then place a cushion over your thighs or your belly. And then we'll do some breath retention after the inhalation and then slow down the exhalation. But just have a wiggle, slide the shoulder blades underneath the upper back. Just make sure you're comfortable. Take a deep breath in through the nose and hold it. Exhale. Breathe in. Hold. Exhale. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Two more rounds. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. And hold. Breathe naturally. Give yourself permission to relax. Soften your belly. And just be. And take a deeper, more conscious breath in. And as you exhale, bring your awareness back into the room, into your body. Invite any kind of movement you feel drawn to. So slowly reawakening the body. So bend your legs and then roll over to one side. And keep your eyes closed. Notice how you're feeling, your energy levels, what's changed, what's shifted, what remained. Just extending compassion to yourself and your body. Take a couple of restful breaths here, reminding yourself that there's no rush. And it's always good to mindfully transition from work into rest and rest into work. So then gently bring yourself back up into a comfortable seat. Feel free to unmute yourself. And we can end the practice together. And just with your eyes closed, bring the hands together at your heart in Anjali Mudra. Feel your heart space for a moment. Gently bow your head. Thank yourself for the practice. Thank your body. Maybe bring a gentle smile to your face. And let's close the practice with one round of Om. So deep breath in. Om. As you next exhale, gently open your eyes. Thank you very much for letting me be your guide in this journey of yoga. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank
How are
you.
you? You're very welcome. How are you feeling?